Hey there, thanks for joining me today. I hope you are doing well. I'm having a good day and I expect it to continue. I've been thinking about this bowl. I think I have showed this to you before. I am really pleased with it in almost every way, but in the firing, it got a massive crack. And normally that would be considered a negative. And I didn't feel very good about it when I pulled it out of the kiln and saw that it was cracked like that. But then I got thinking that, maybe this isn't the end. And maybe I can actually make this a better pot because of it. There's this concept in Japanese called art, I think they pronounce it kintsugi, where if they have a valuable piece of pottery, it is repaired. But sometimes people repair things so that you can't see the repair or the problem. But with kintsugi, it's just the opposite, that they celebrate it. And what they do is they put it back together, they glue it together with lacquer that is mixed with gold or silver or platinum so that the repair becomes part of the pot itself. It actually enhances the beauty. It's kind of this concept of wabi sabi, where you celebrate the imperfections of things. And the crack is really part of the history of the pot. And so you're actually kind of celebrating it and honoring its existence by keeping it alive somewhat longer. Obviously, everything has impermanence and nothing is going to last forever. But maybe what we can do is repair things in such a way that they will last somewhat longer and we can enjoy them and maybe make it even better. And maybe you have been in museums with Native American pottery. I've certainly seen where they have drilled holes and joined broken pottery together. Obviously, this was an important vessel for them so that they could repair it. What they were going to use it for, I have no idea. So that's what I am thinking. I don't have lacquer, I don't have gold dust, but I can drill holes and I can tie things together with cordage of some sort. So that is the plan with this today. And I have all these perforated holes. The plan originally was to have a woven basket rim on this. And my friend Roy is going to show me how to do that. And so I'm going to give that a go as well. And maybe in the end, the pot will be better than what I intended it to begin with. So let's get this thing fixed up. You can see here that I have drilled some holes. I just used a regular drill bit, although it got dull pretty quickly. Kind of broke out a little bit on the back, but I don't think that's a big problem. And so my thought is just to use this waxed, I think it's a linen thread, and tie it together. Thinking that 2 rounds on this is going to be enough. There we go. 3 little stitches in there. I think that looks okay. What's the problem with that? So the next step is to actually learn how to weave this basket weaving on the rim. So that'll take me a while to do that. Well, I visited with my new friend Roy down in Tucson, and he showed me how to weave the pine needle basket stitch around the rim of my bowl. So here is an example of one of the bowls that he did. He is just so good, so precise. And he's a good teacher too. However, I'll show you my first effort. Here we go. Isn't that impressive? But it's all a learning process, right? So I got home and decided I needed to practice a little bit. So I beat a piece of wood with holes in it. And then this is the first effort I had with that. So then now I think it's time to start a bowl. In fact, I have started a bowl. I'll show you what I've done. I'll show you a little bit of it, but it won't be a tutorial. So let's go over to that. The nice thing about this hobby is you don't need a lot of different materials. The basic material are these pine needles. This is from a pine in the south, I think Alabama. They are really long. These must be at least 15 inches long in many cases. They are dyed. I think they use RIT dye. These were purchased. You can buy these on Etsy. Different colors. If you want colors, you don't have to have colors. And you do cut off the little ends. I think it's possible to not do that, but it makes it much cleaner. You need some thread. This is a waxed thread. You can get this at hobby stores. I think it's probably linen, but the wax makes a difference, makes it easier. A needle to sew it all together. These are bigger needles. I think they might call them carpet needles. Pair of scissors to cut things, and an awl. And that's all you really need. So I'll show you how it all works. Well, first you have to have these holes in, and you want to put the holes in when the clay is leather hard and before your pot is fired. These are all 3/8 of an inch apart and 3/8 of an inch from the rim. So here's the crack that's been stitched together, and then the first row, and you just grab a bunch of needles the size that you want to use, something that looks aesthetically pleasing, and then those are stitched onto the top of the rim. So basically, you're just laying these needles along the top and wrapping the thread around it and then stitching it in, although you want to be as precise as you can. So I'll show you how that works. And what you do is you stitch the top part into the bottom part, and you get your needle just under the thread, just like that. I don't know if you can see this. It's not an ideal situation. And you pull it nice and snug, kind of like that. So ideally, all of your stitches are the same. It's easier said than done. But you are going to run out of needles, right? So you need to add needles from time to time. The idea is that your bundle of needles always stays about the same size. And you tuck your needle inside of the bundle. You don't want it to show on the edge. Put in another stitch. That is the basics of it. We'll go around and tighten these and even them up, but that's generally how you do it. It's going to take a lot of stitches to get all the way around this. It's a slow process. So this is not intended to be a tutorial. If you are interested in a tutorial about how to do this, make a comment down below and I'll see what I can do. The weaving on the top rim, I think, is basically done. So what I need to do now is finish off the edge, and then there's some extra treatment along the top rim that I want to do. And then the project will be over. The pot is finished, and I'm happy with the way that it turned out, which is interesting because it was cracked originally, and it could have just gone in the bin, but now actually it is one of my favorite pots, and there's several things I like about it. One, the painting turned out good. I love the colors, but it's kind of interesting with, where is it? With my crack here, it's been stitched up, and it kind of gives it an authentic look. So I like that. And the rim on this kind of gives it an enhancement. I know that's not an authentic kind of thing, but it was a fun project, and I like the way that it looks. So the lesson here is that just because something didn't turn out the way you wanted it to begin with doesn't mean that it can't be salvaged. Hope you like this video. Appreciate you being here. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, share it with people, subscribe, all those things. Until next time, this is Wes wishing you health, happiness, peace, and love. Take care. Bye-bye.